Well, I'd only have good teams in my top 10, not like the
Welcome one and
Usos.
all to the show with the most, the Thursday night dream that would not end each and every week. You keep up with wrestling, or if you don't, we are here to talk about the week that was. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, on Weekly Wrestling Geek TV. Make sure to sub and follow. We do have a giveaway going on right now. If we reach 100 subs to our YouTube channel, we will be doing a giveaway to lucky follower that will get a free NXT or WWE shirt.
I think we just do a wrestling T-shirt because all wrestling T-shirts are about the same price, right?
Yeah.
No, we're giving away a Tiffany Stratton T-shirt.
We'll do a random wrestling T-shirt. We'll do a random wrestling T-shirt. I'm stepping in.
All right. Well, we have lots to cover, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elias. I am Mr. Laredo. We have joining us today Mr. Matty Ice, a.k.a. Morning Hookah, Matt the Iceman.
Watch out or I'll put you into 1,001 holds.
And, of course, we have my fellow co-host, Moise, on. We will be joined by Mr. Angel, average wrestling fan, wrestle fan, pretty soon. He's running a little behind. But anyways, this week we will talk about the best of this week in wrestling, talk about the best matches, headlines for WWE, AEW, and then we have a special segment today. We will be talking about us. We made a top 5 list of the best Royal Rumble matches in recent history or all history. I don't know what these guys have thought of.
Isn't all of it recent history at this point?
Yeah, recent.
89, right? 89 was the first one?
89.
It's all pretty recent.
I mean, that's around my age gap.
I was alive, technically, for all of the Royal Rumbles. That's a weird thought.
Yes. But let's get into this weekend best of wrestling. This is a segment on our show where we like to actually start and highlight some of what we thought was the best highlight of this week, starting from SmackDown, going on to AEW last night. So
it can be any wrestling though, correct? Like
any
even
wrestling,
if it's not
it could be
WWE or anything
that you thought in wrestling that was cool moment.
And it doesn't even have to be current, obviously. Anything you saw this week. What was your favorite thing that you saw in wrestling this week?
Go ahead. I'll let Moise start it off with it for us today.
I am gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Deonna and Roxy.
Why are you laughing about this? This has me kind of worried, actually.
I had two events that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna go with the safer option, and I'll talk about the other one when we get into our recap of NXT.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna go Deonna and Roxy. Roxy is someone that Elias has been hyping up a lot. I've gotten behind her. I've watched a few of her matches. I'm going to be seeing her live against Miranda Gordy tomorrow. So there'll be videos on TikTok of that. But I thought it was a good match. I think it's a good match for Matt to go back and watch because Matt isn't completely sold on Deonna yet. And I think this might be the match. I actually think Matt's going to walk out a big Roxy supporter after this. I think Roxy might sneak in the match top 5. I think he can go down the rabbit hole.
I don't know about that. It's been a while since I've added a new wrestler, I feel, to any of my like top 5 lists in terms
Except
of
for
like
Tony D'Angelo and Tiffany Stratton. Yeah.
I definitely did not add Tony D'Angelo. I have some things to talk about him for this week's episode when we get to that point because Moise, you oversold me, this man.
Brings us to Matt. What was your highlight in this week in wrestling?
My highlight for this week in wrestling, I'm trying to share out the video right now. If you are watching this live or after the fact, go ahead and start sharing the video into wrestling groups, fan groups, people that you think might enjoy this sort of content. Make sure you drop a like and sub to us, obviously. And then also, whatever your favorite thing in wrestling this week was, let us know. Either drop a comment or drop a comment after the fact, regardless of which one it is. But for me, my best week of wrestling was actually the Cody Rhodes promo, which I thought was really good. I like Cody Rhodes. I like him before, and I'm going to get in before people said, like, I like him too. I liked him before people liked him. I like Cody Rhodes. I think he's good. And I think that this promo did a good job of barking into the fans' faces a little bit in like a good way that shows that he's he's like going to be forever tween, is what this promo told me, right? He will never do a full turn heel. He will never be a beloved babyface by any stretch. So like he's always forever going to be a tween. And then he pulls out the ladder. I will say that like wrestling is so old / young that like we still see a lot of the same things that like make us comfortable, right? Like there's a interim title, so there's 2 titles. So what is the first thing that they do? All right, let's have a ladder match, because everybody loved Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels, right? So like everybody knew what that meant, right? Did anybody question him pulling out the ladder, what that could possibly mean? At no point did anyone not know what he was doing, right? It was a great promo.
I think Angel thought he was going to climb the ladder and fix the scaffolding at the arena. That's what I think Angel thought.
He was going to be a good Samaritan. He's like, he saw the guy on the ground. He's like, hey, do you need a light bulb up there fixed? Okay, I'll do it for you. Don't worry about it.
And that's the new Cody gimmick. That's the new Cody gimmick.
You hang out. Yeah. Oh my God, that's like his dad though. He's like every man. He's the son of a plumber, and now he's an electrician. Hi, I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm an electrician, and I'm here to fix your light bulb and take your girlfriend. Oh no, he's married.
He's married.
So he can't do that. And take your belt. Anyway,
happily married.
My best of wrestling this week was Cody Rhodes promo, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more as well in the AEW section. So I'll go ahead and pass it back over to Elias.
Angel, what was your best moment in wrestling this week?
I didn't hear Moises. I don't know if he's gone yet, but Moxie's return. It's good to see him back. He looks super healthy. I had someone else pointed out to me. Sorry, my lighting's a little messed up there, but how bloated he actually was on his last appearance. He was very red in the face, which was a little bit weird. And I didn't notice that, but seeing him here was a good sign.
Nice. All right. So my best moment of wrestling, I'll make it quick. I'd like to highlight SmackDown. I think one of my favorite moments was the interaction between Roman and Seth Rollins. It always was funny. It's always good to see both of them go and up on the mic against each other. I think one of the highlights that I liked from Roman's was the segment the line that he threw out there. Like, you're not even the most famous person in your household, and if I wanted to make a main event moment, I would make that moment with your wife. And I think that was just like a mic drop moment right there.
Too many people do that to him, though. I feel like that's getting a little bit overplayed. Everybody's like, "You're the less famous marriage person."
But also, I would say that Seth Rollins escaping the Usos on Friday was pretty cool to see. To kind of play mind games with Roman, then to come back, bite him in the butt on Raw. But yeah, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your favorite moment of this week? Go ahead and let us know below if you have any, or let us know in the chat, or if you're watching this later on, let us know in our comments. Anyways, getting into our main focus of today, we'll get into WWE talk, which is we'll highlight a couple of things that are going on Raw, NXT, most and SmackDown, which I think most of our this week is Raw and NXT. So let's get into a couple of storylines. Talking which is the Lesnar Lashley video packages that they did on Monday Night Raw. I think that those packages help sell the match a little bit more than the actual talking that the promos that they've done. I thought that's one thing that WWE does really good on it, and it's the actual video packages to hype up the matches. I think that's one of the highlights that I enjoyed this week on Raw.
I think that it's easy to point out how good the production quality of WWE's production stuff is. They've been doing this for such a long time, and they can build gold. You know, they can dig inside a mine for a very long time. They can find gold in it regardless. They can find diamonds in some cases. Like, you watch some of these like older promos for like matches that turned out to be real stinkers and stuff. Look at the promo that they did for Randy Orton and Alexa Bliss. Like, you thought there was gonna be something cool that happened in that match, and it didn't. But the promo looked great. And like, and that's not a diss towards those people at all. Like, that's me saying that they do such a good job with their promo work that it's unsurprising that this promo was as good as it was, because I watched it and I enjoyed it a lot. I was like, you know what? This is telling a really compelling story about two guys that are at the top of their game, and it's doing a good job of selling, which is interesting. Brock is technically the babyface in this feud, right?
Yeah.
No.
So it's interesting that...
No, he's the heel.
Brock is the heel.
Brock is the baby face in this one.
No, why is
Because-
Bobby getting attacked by two people?
And Bobby had the line inside the promo that literally talked about him. Can he finally conquer the hill that he's never been able to conquer before? Like
So
building
Bobby's
up
the
this
face.
giant.
I'm with Elias. I thought Brock.
I
was the
really
baby
thought that
face.
Brock Lesnar was the face on this one.
I don't know
He
who
gets
is.
attacked by two
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
I
I'm
think-
asking.
I think this is just an example of just two guys who just need to go at it.
Agreed. And I think at the end of the video
So
package, I know, and I do agree. Like, but at the same time, like the storytelling possibilities could be better because Brock, for instance, goes, what did he say? If I would have known you, then I would have already kicked your ass. And that was such a great line, right? Like, but because it made the point of like you've never been at my level before. Like I'm sorry, but like you just made it here. I've been sitting atop this throne for a very long time. So like it would make sense to make Bobby the baby face but I don't think he's going to win, right? Like I think we're all pretty sure Brock is going to win this match.
I don't know. This one
I
is
can
a
see
toss-up.
Bobby winning.
I
Really?
can see Bobby winning.
At
It
Royal
goes
Rumble,
back-
or do you think they keep it
It,
for
go- it
another?
goes back
place?
to my theory that Roman's gonna cost Brock Lesnar the match.
I don't see that at all. I don't understand that logic. I just don't see it personally.
And that's why it's going to happen because it's WWE.
Agreed.
So,
yeah.
all right. So I think that's pretty much from Raw that we really want to talk about. I mean, the rest of it.
As far as a bit, go ahead, Matt.
Well, I was gonna because we're talking about storylines a little bit, and that was like, yeah, I don't know anything about Raw storylines personally for this week for WWE stuff, but I put the Walter thing under promos, but that really, in my opinion, should probably be under storylines, and I wouldn't mind talking about that right away. I want to get into the Walter Gunther stuff.
Move
fast.
into NXT.
I think him getting the name changes is dumb. Is not the smartest thing to do. Apart from the controversy it caused a little bit, but I don't feel that he needed the name change. I felt it was just like, I guess WWE, this is WWE's way of being like, well, since you're coming to the main roster eventually and you're going to be in the US, we're going to give you another name just so we could trademark it.
But he's already debuted as Walter multiple times.
Like I said,
I don't get it.
This is why I was okay with it. Did you watch NXT Angel?
What, the new one?
Yeah. Did you watch
This
NXT
one?
this last episode?
A couple. Like I watched story beats. Yeah.
Did
I
you
skipped
watch
a lot of it?
Yeah. Did you watch where he changed his name?
At the very end, yeah, he said the winner of this match is Gunther. Yeah.
Yeah, and I that's why I'm like okay with this. Is he's not being reintroduced and he's not being repackaged. He's literally telling people what he wants to be called, and he did it in such a aggressive way. Like they're about to announce him, they're about to say, and the winner is, and he says 9, no, the winner is Gunther, and he throws down the microphone, and they keep on beating up Roderick Strong. Like he's making this point, and this is where I'm coming from with the Walter Gunther thing. If they use this, because to me, this should now be the biggest story in NXT, in my opinion. This is what it looks like to me, right? I think that this should be the biggest story, and this should help him lead into a feud with Braun, and he should beat Braun, and we should have a true mother crazy, rough heel overtaking NXT, and then we have the master, the boss for everybody to go after. And I think that the Gunther thing, I think it helps him because it gives him like this power, and it gives him like this like very. It's not necessary by any stretch, but like I'm cool with it if they do something with it leading into a story. That's what I would be good with.
So
Here, girls want everyone, even you. Well, hello, loveface.xyz. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you live a wonderful life. Boy, we're making the big leagues now, boys.
Go ahead, boys. I saw you had a comment.
So I think what they're gonna do, I really think they're not gonna do anything with this. But what I think they should do is Walter came to America, and they wouldn't give him U.S. citizenship under the name Walter, so he switched his name to Gunther to get U.S. citizenship. And
That's not crazy. That's actually not crazy.
It's not. That's what I'm just like.
That's what happened. That's what happened with my great grandfather when he came from Russia with my original last name. They just couldn't pronounce it, and they gave my family name is a made up name on the spot at Staten Island.
My grandma. I got off the phone with my grandma earlier today on my mom's side. Her last name is Minnick, and when she came from, when I guess her great grandma came from Germany, it was spelled with an H, but they just like, nah, that doesn't make sense. They changed it to a K at Ellis Island for her.
Literally, yep, same thing.
I just had this conversation about 5 hours ago. So that's funny you mentioned that.
So like this is possible. This is that's a reasonable story beat for
Like
WWE
Walter.
to use.
That's not a real name. Gunther sounds
read,
more Austrian.
So I read I read some tweets that Hurricane put out there. He
Shane
basically
I thought he was
Shane
too
Helms,
aggressive.
he made a point though. He's like, it's still the same Walter. He's still gonna do the same thing as long as they don't change the gimmick. They could change the name as long as he still caves chest in is what really matters. From it.
I agree with that, and I think I'm not as an uproar about it just because like I've seen a couple of matches of the guy, but who really watched NXT UK religiously to the point of it's a big, huge deal to them? A name change is a name change. I think we can all agree. I think a lot of the uproar just came with there was really no reason for it. And it's fair enough point, but
I think
as long as he's the same wrestler, he's a pure wrestler. Hopefully they don't change that part of it.
And I think a lot of it had to do with the backstory of what they were trying to trademark, which we won't go into, but it was the name that was trying to be trademarked caused a lot of uproar because of its significance.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave it at that. But anyways, Loomis versus Grayson Waller.
I wrote this one down because I really think that this is another way that like Vince McMahon is trying to kill original NXT. I thought that even in story wise for the Grayson Waller character, like against LA Knight, to have him beat Loomis, I thought was just kind of dumb, like story wise. Like, I don't know, like, I don't like this idea that they're selling Grayson Waller as a rookie and as like a up and comer and as somebody that still has a lot to learn, but then he's beating very established people. And I wasn't a fan of that. I thought that was a bad booking decision, and the match was fine, whatever. But like, I just didn't like the outcome of it, and it made such little sense story wise. If like LA Knight is like, you can either lift the thing and I'll kick your ass, or you cannot lift the thing and he'll kick your butt. And then he didn't actually get his butt kicked. Like he won. Like it doesn't matter how much of a beating he takes, he won. So like it doesn't matter. So I didn't like that.
And then them adding the Shanky guy or whoever it was.
Oh yeah, his bodyguard person.
His bodyguard kind of bites off the AJ Styles almost thing.
His name's Saurav Gujar, guys. Okay, Saurav.
Apologies. Sorry.
But
one episode I did not catch his full name.
But them adding him has the bodyguard kind of bites off the AJ almost kind of gimmick in a sense. As well.
It does.
So,
You're so right. They should have tried it first in NXT first to realize it wouldn't have worked.
And I think also going on with NXT, the Tony D'Angelo promo. What the hell?
That was a bad promo, Moise.
I will say it wasn't Tony's best work. It seemed like he
God dang. He was tripping over his words so bad, and he was trying to sell it like, no, it's not me messing up on my promo. It's me not thinking, what am I doing up here? Oh, yeah, I'm doing a promo. Yeah, it's not me messing up on my promo.
Matt, hear me out. I think Trick Williams came and saved the day. When he was like, Larry, Curly, when he went on that Rock rant, like how the Rock would like start naming off stuff. When he went, I don't care if it's Jimmy, Mo, Larry, Curly, Matt, Elias, Angel. When he went on that rant, I think Trick Williams is a star. I think Trick Williams needs to go straight to main roster.
I will say this: if it wasn't for Trick Williams and also Cameron Grimes coming out there and saving the day, I think that segment would have been horrible. It shows how
so good.
It really shows how green some of these guys are on the mic and how much they do need to work on their promo skills.
It also shows just how much Grimes has improved. Like,
yes,
it was not that long ago that he sounded a lot like Tony D. It was not that long ago. Like the first time he came out to sell the To the Moon gimmick about like, well, I bought all these coins that had a dog on them, and it turns out they went to the moon. And then I went into a GameStop, and I was like, these guys seem real. I really like that promo, but it was still super green, and it still had a lot of problems with it. But you go back and watch that compared to like what he came out to this time, and it's like It's like 100 times improvement. It's so good. Very good.
That's pretty much it from
Dusty
the
Classic, Elias.
Oh yeah, Dusty Classic.
Oh, did you write that in the notes, Moise? Did you write that down?
Upset of the whole tournament. Legato lost.
I told Matt last week Idris and Malik are going to win around. Because Matt was like, who's this Malik Blade guy? Because Malik won with disqualification, remember?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, they're going to win around. It's going to be a Cinderella story. But more importantly, you had the Diamond Mine beat Briggs and Jensen. But we got to talk about what happened after this. Because this is some hard hitting stuff right here. So Briggs and Jensen are in the locker room. They're like, we'll get them next time. One of them is really down. I still don't know which one's which, so I apologize. We're going to say Briggs is down. So Briggs was down, and Jensen was like, yo, man, it's all good. We got it next time. And then Casey and Caden came, and they're like, yo, let's go grab a couple of drinks. And Brooks was like, all right, yeah. But he was really nervous, so he's like, I like you. Then Wendy Shu was in the top locker, and she was like, "Oh, you like her?" And
just
he's
stop
like,
now.
I don't like her.
I will say that
just stop now. It's not good.
The saving grace of that segment was Wendy Chu.
No, it wasn't. That was okay.
Dude,
come on.
Let's be. We got to tell people the whole story.
This is not a story we're telling.
Really
then.
All right,
Brooks is like, "Oh, I like you," but not like that.
If you want to talk about about a good moment that kind of got me excited was the Braun Breaker and Legato interaction.
Don't switch.
We are switching subjects. We're done with that.
Switching subjects.
I need everyone's thoughts.
What thoughts do you want from it? What are you looking for? It's a very stupid, cute love. It's dumb.
It was not good.
It wasn't good.
You think it's stupid, but you think it's cute.
No, it was not cute. They were trying to go for cute. It was super cringy. Here's the thing, is there's a big problem with the NXT 2.0 reboot. The big problem with it, in my opinion, is they're leaning way too heavily into the new generation style of WWF. They're doing extreme gimmicks that are overemphasized, and they are doing like extreme ideas and then like saying like, look, he's legitimately a teacher. No, like really, he's a teacher, but like he comes here and he wrestles. Like that's what is like that's not. He's there, like it's mildly
doesn't
talking
work as
down
much anymore.
It doesn't, and it's like they're talking down to us. These are two hillbillies that just love to kick ass and chew tobacco and drink beer, and they just are going to come in here and they're going to put on a wrist lock, and then they're going to put on a dragon sleeper, and then they're going to know what a Tiger Bomb 1997 is. Like it's not. I don't care.
What's wrong with Beer Money?
Beer Money did it well because
it sounds like
yeah, but they were saved by the
like
old
this
time.
Is a reboot of Beer Money.
Yeah. Anyways, they're not a reboot of Beer Money, though. We know that.
No, I'm just.
But
okay, continue on.
What this needs to lead to,
it's not good.
Casey turns Briggs, and Briggs goes psycho, like his dad, Bull Buchanan, when Bull Buchanan joined the right to censure.
I'm just glad, Moise, you're really into something on NXT 2.0.
He gets Casey to start covering up because he's worried too many people are looking at his
girl. You're going back to another gimmick infringement right there. So no, anyways, I will say before we move on, I will say that an interesting point of NXT yesterday was the Braun Breaker interaction with Legato, with Santos Escobar. I can't get behind that match if it does happen, but. That's pretty much. We'll see what happens from there.
When was the last time Escobar won a meaningful match?
Does it matter?
That's why he's in the feud. That's why he's in the feud.
Yeah. Anyways,
he's like Eddie Kingston. Let's be honest.
Moving on.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Moving on. This basically we're going to leave WWE right behind, and we're going to get into AEW.
Do we have anything else about Raw?
No, not really.
I didn't watch it. So if there's any important story beats that we should know into,
anyone care about that or want to mention that as a highlight?
Yeah, there's a graduation and Randy.
The graduation segment on.
We're 2 weeks away from the Rumble. Did anything happen meaningful on Raw towards the Rumble?
Oh, okay. I think Dominic's gonna turn on Ray because Ray
is it in
Ray threw Dominic out of the ring. So I think.
Yeah, but they loved each other. It's like, oh, Dad, you got me. I know, right?
Yeah, that's basically what it was. They both the Mysterios threw Street Profits out. And then
he looked up and he's like, Dad, you're finally taller than me.
Dominic got thrown out by Ray.
Matt, I'm gonna get you to pop right now on this idea I heard from one of my favorite podcasters.
What?
Okay, Dominic eliminates Rey Mysterio, right?
Okay.
And then he's in the back. You don't see who he's talking to. He's like, like, my dad held me back all these years. I want to get revenge. And no one knew my dad better than you. You always destroyed him. Camera pans out. It's JBL in full cowboy gimmick. And he turns Dominic into the anti-Hispanic. And that's
Oh, no, not
gimmick.
anti-American
No.
stuff
Anyways,
again. I'm
moving
so
on.
tired of those.
No,
those
not
gimmicks are so
anti-American.
bad.
Not anti-American.
Well, yes, but when they...
Anti-Hispanic.
I know, but to be
JBL.
anti-Hispanic is to be like semi-racist. It's like the un-Americans.
Dominic's
It is close. It is close.
It's very close.
It is close.
Because it's hating culture of a culture that like automatically makes him heel. It's like, oh, look at this guy not liking himself. That makes him a heel because he hates his dad, who is that thing that he hates. Like,
Would the
I'm
JBL
tired of those
gimmick
gimmicks.
Fly? Would the JBL gimmick fly today? The
Hell
JBL
no.
Eddie
Hell
Guerrero?
no.
Hell no. You kidding me? That's why like Grimes is like the evolution of
be fair-
JBL because he's like this young millionaire that's like douchey.
I was gonna say, to be fair though, like Eddie's gimmick that he was portraying wouldn't work today either.
Latino he would be a lot harder to portray. I completely agree.
Like
It'd be better than JBL's racist cowboy.
They cross at the perfect moment, and
Yes.
Anyway,
And they knew
okay.
which one was the heel and which one was the good guy, though. Like, yeah. Anyways.
I will
move on.
say before we move on, watching an interesting interaction with Ray today on Twitter. By the way, congratulations to Rey Mysterio, on the cover of WWE 2K22. But I can see somebody that people hate coming back and causing some commotion. But anyways, moving on. If we're moving on for WWE, we'll get into AEW.
Wait, somebody, so who are you talking about? I'm so confused.
AEW talk.
No, I want to know too. Who's gonna poop on Ray being on the cover?
No, but the inner Twitter pooped on Gray from the cover, but it was an interesting interaction with what's his name? He used to go with Paige.
Alberto
Del Rio.
No way. WWE
he-
would never. No way.
Yeah.
I don't think they would.
I don't think he'll ever, as long as Paige works there, especially. You kidding me?
I don't know.
He's
But
so
anyways-
vanished.
Yeah,
But
he
but-
choked a woman out and was no way. You crazy? You're crazy.
You are
I mean,
more
Hulk
likely to
Hogan
see
came
Bel-
back.
Let's get into the AEW talk right now by
Yeah.
starting off with our storylines, kicking off it with Cole and Baker versus Cassidy and Stratline slander. Yeah, that word. Anyways, I'm tired of great matches. I'm tired of good matches. And I mean this sincerely. I am tired of good matches with very little storytelling and like psychology in it. It was so dumb to see her hit a 451, go into a beach break, and he kicked out clean. That was dumb. That's bad ring psychology. That's bad match and flow progression. What? Yeah, because there's no need for that
That's why I
spot.
didn't really care.
Yeah, but it was a 451 into a beach break. It was not just a beach break. There was two finishers hit.
Yeah, but he was
on top of the
protected
other.
a little bit.
He wasn't protected. He got hit the more of the two. He was smashed between two women, and then he went into a beach break. That
I
is
don't hear a
bad
problem.
booking and ring psychology. For what though? For just the pop of the match being quote unquote good. All matches are good. All of them.
That's
So
not
like,
true.
what match was not good this week on AEW?
CM Punk versus Shawn Spears.
That
That
wasn't
was-
a match. That was not a
wasn't a
match. That was a story moment.
Segment. Yeah.
So what match wasn't good on AEW?
Deeb? I didn't like the Deeb.
That wasn't a match either. That was a squat.
That wasn't a match either. That was a story beat too.
Kazarian Archer.
That was you could argue that was a story beat as well. You could argue that.
It
You
went through a
could argue
commercial
it.
break.
You could argue it.
Went through a
They
break.
went way too
But-
long. I will give
But
you that.
yeah, it was way too long to be considered.
I
what
think
we're
there
saying.
was
Okay.
there was no
Okay.
other match, so to speak, on this card. Like
they
what
canceled
else?
the FTR match.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really anything else.
I know, but
on
that's
the
not
card.
the point about it being the match. Like all the matches are good though. Like everything's good. This match had such
There wasn't
little ring
another real match,
psychology.
though.
I disagree. The Acclaim. What about Acclaim and Sting? That wasn't a good match.
I would say it was more about just getting Darby and getting Sting in the ring. No, it wasn't really a match.
It was
into a handicap
it was
match.
The match was that was technically a better ring psychology match because it showed a character fighting his way to try to survive until he was saved by Darby for that big babyface pop. Like what are you talking about? This match you could argue was less of a match because everybody knew that Adam Cole and Britt Baker were going to win. That wasn't surprising.
I will say this. I
love this match.
I will say that I like Adam Cole and Britt Baker working together. I will say that.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine together.
They
have chemistry, I think.
Oh,
if they did it, that would be weird. But I really enjoyed Cassidy and Statlander as a team because
they're a fun team.
They're a fun team together because one of my favorite moments that I kind of popped for was when they were outside the ring and Statlander did her pendulum flip and then Orange Cassidy just body flop, just did a trust fall on Adam Cole. I thought that was basically one of my favorite moments of this match. On a storyline perspective, I think that the end of the match kind of built to that story that they're trying to tell, which was dumb. If they were going to have an Orange Cassidy Adam Cole rematch, why would you have Adam Cole win this match? That was dumb. That is weird booking.
I think that's the point.
Why
Adam Cole?
He's already beat him twice. What does he have to prove?
I think that's the point. He's like, I'm tired of dealing with this. Like, why am I I think that's the point of it. Like, why am I still dealing with
the table spot was not necessary. I thought the table spot was not necessary.
I agree with that.
Because of the fact that it just like literally you saw Britt Baker flop and take a bump on the table. If you're gonna use a table, at least you make it a memorable moment on the table.
It wasn't that's the thing either.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't. Lots of and that's one thing that's becoming a current thing in AEW that I kind of am starting to get bothered by. Every time they try to use a table,
it's definitely more spot.
At least for this last month, at least I've seen more tables be used on Dynamite than anything, or even on Rampage.
It is a little annoying.
It is. It can be.
But
don't you think that a third match though set up for with Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy would have been better if Adam Cole lost this match?
No,
I think that
how would your emotion in the match not be higher if they both had one win against each other?
Yeah, no one thinks OC's gonna win.
Do you think there's a chance Orange Cassidy wins this third match?
By making it lights out, which means it won't count against Cole's record, kind of.
That's some Hulk Hogan honky losing crap right there.
That's some WCW booking.
That is WCW booking straight up.
That's what they did with Baker Rosa.
Yeah, but
and you know what? That's very true. And looking back at it, like it annoys me that Rosa won that match because she didn't get anything out of it.
Well, yeah, she did. She did.
She absolutely did not. She didn't even
get the loudest reactions at any event. Anyway,
so why is she not the champion? Why did she not got a legit shot at it until much later down the line? Even though she's the one that beat her in that lights out match,
it doesn't count as a record.
That's what I'm saying. It means nothing. I agree with you. It means nothing, and I think that her winning that was dumb because it means nothing. The match itself, it means nothing. We agree, I guess.
Yes.
Moving on.
Are we talking about this from? Go ahead.
CM Punk and Shawn Spears, which beforehand we got a Wardlow MJF promo.
Love it.
I enjoyed the promo between MJF that MJF did, which was pretty funny because the reactions that Wardlow made once MJF said certain things was what made the segment, apart from the lines that MJF said. I think that Wardlow is bound for great things in AEW.
Yeah, my favorite line at the very end, he's just like, Spears is going to show everyone, including you, how to take care of CM Punk, and just Wardlow's face on every part was fantastic. Great acting.
I myself did not like the match because I felt it wasn't a match.
Yeah, but you did not like the segment. No one should have liked that segment. That was a terrible segment.
It kind of puts Shawn Spears back in the same position that he was in WWE.
It's a weird thing how like so
But
many
this is
people. I remember thinking like, oh, if Sean Spears ever could stop being humiliated, he could really get over. And this is probably his second largest thing to happen in AEW for Sean Spears, because he completely got demolished by the Pinnacle. He got demolished by the as the Pinnacle's not a real thing. They're just a word that they sometimes use. But they got demolished by the Inner Circle, and they're getting demolished by anything that they go against. And now he's getting humiliated by being like, "Hey, MJF, love you," and then he gets a GTS immediately.
Yes,
Moise.
All right. Here's a hot take. Ty Dillinger in his feud with Baron Corbin was more over and more relevant than he has ever been in AEW.
I agree with that 100%.
I will say this. No, I
100%.
would disagree, because when he first debuted
Cody.
in
That was a
Cody,
huge moment. That was a huge moment.
That was the biggest.
The chairman? What a cool
the
freaking nickname. What a cool nickname.
Like
The chairman of AEW.
And I think we even had a conversation about the chair shot that he gave Cody.
Yeah,
which
I'm sure we
was kind and
it was
and
supposed
I
to be
felt
gimmicked, and then it wasn't.
yeah. But I felt like that was the biggest moment Sean Spears has had in AEW.
Yeah,
like
But
even
Elias, remember how over he was against Baron Corbin because so many people hated Baron Corbin?
Yeah.
But that was
in spite of.
That was in spite of WWE bad booking. He's
10
just
was
not popular.
10 was over.
Oh, it was, but it was in spite of WWE trying to not make it over.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now he's less over in AEW, quote unquote, trying to put himself over.
His role is not, and I think he accepted that though. His role is not really to get over.
I think
His
that's
role in this is to get Wardlow more over.
I think it's a.
He's doing. I would say he's doing that job perfect.
I agree, and I think that this actually needs to be said. Jeez, Moise, come on,
That's not
come
me.
on, Moise.
That's not me.
Oh, come on, Elias. You gonna run real quick? This is my thought on this, and I'm really curious about your guys' opinion about this, because I think that this is kind of like saying to wrestling fans, myself included, like, stop pretending you know, because we don't know. We don't know how happy or unhappy a wrestler is at doing the role or the job that they're doing, because everybody immediately assumed that, like, oh, Sean Spears must hate his role in WWE. He must hate that he's being used the way that he is. He must hate that he's embarrassed and humiliated. Same thing with like Sami Zayn, for instance, right? But
Sami
then
Zayn just re-signed today.
And he did. He just re-signed. But then you look at someone like Sean Spears, who you could argue is being treated worse than he was in WWE. But like, people will tell you that he's more happy in AEW than he was in WWE. So it has nothing to do with like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, we don't know what these guys actually feel about their roles in their particular companies, in their stories, all those kinds of things, because they're doing what they love to do at the end of the day. And I think this is proof of that. Is all
I
I'm
agree
trying
with
to say.
you, because me and Elias talked about it. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Good Brothers need to go to AEW." They went to Impact. They're getting paid well. They're getting to do outside projects, and they've talked about it on multiple podcasts. They love the schedule with Impact because they get to do so many outside of the, like, they get to do training seminars and stuff to bring in even more money.
I would say this. I do agree that Sean is happier in AEW. I do feel that he has more potential to be bigger than what he is. That's why I kind of dislike the segment, because I've seen him train, as the highlights of him in his training school with Tyler Breeze, and I really know that he's a great in-ring technician and stuff like that. So I would have, in the promo that he did the previous week was good, and it it made me excited for this match, because I wanted to see more of Sean Spears. So
it's almost more frustrating knowing that the FTR match got canceled, you guys are saying, and then we got less of this match than what we could have technically. Like, if there was a match canceled, why couldn't this match have gotten 10 minutes? Why couldn't
on the FTR thing, really quick, yes or no? Is anyone excited about the Briscoes? Yes or no?
I legitimately am. I
am.
Wherever they go, I'm legitimately excited about what they do. I really like their style, their look. They're like a Butcher and Blade, but more serious. I like the Briscoes.
I myself am excited because I just want to see the match, because this is it's been a lot of back and forward, and FTR is basically like look, you're doing all this talking. Come see us. So it's like they're basically laying out the challenge and waiting on them to actually come and and fight. Like that's basically what the FTR is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm even though I like the Briscoes, I'm more with FTR in this one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't have really much to add. I'll just say we are getting a little off topic, so we'll probably skip the matches. You guys think there wasn't really too many others than what we talked about? Just get right to the promos.
We kind of already made
yeah, kind of like a Get right to the promos. I think.
Let's talk about Moxley return. I felt that this was one of the most genuine promos that I've seen in AEW, and I felt that it showed us the real Jon Moxley, not just it kind of I put it along the lines of when Roman announced his leukemia stuff and stuff like that. I felt it was on those top promos that it was real. And I know on Twitter and stuff like that, it hit with a lot of people, and a lot of people were appreciative of that promo. And to that guy who got kicked out, thank God he got kicked out.
No, AEW fans are a little too trigger happy with the stuff they want to yell. I think Angel would agree. Angel's probably the biggest AEW fan, but I think he would be one of those guys that's like, when you say stuff about a Nyla or a Moxley like that, or Anthony Castor, if the person next to you punches you in the face, we're not going to back you up.
Yeah. There was a guy at the show here in Houston who was shouting bad slurs at Bowens. The dude next to him did clock him, and security came and grabbed the guy. It was right next to me. I don't know if y'all actually saw that happen or not. But yeah. So it does happen.
Yeah. But
I think that there's still that line of AEW is still very indie. It really is. It's still very indie in so many different ways and aspects of the way that their shows produced and put together, the booking, the card, the matches, so interesting in that respect, in my opinion. I thought that the Moxley promo was great. I mean, it was a great way to kick off the show. It was a strong promo. It was a passionate promo and stuff. Honestly, this is one of those promos that I think we could just universally agree it's good, but there's not a lot else to say about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where he goes from here, because
where does he go?
For blood is what he said, basically. So
I think it's
going to go hurt
or Bryan Danielson.
It will be probably, because wasn't he booked to win that match against him?
Yeah, that would be fun.
So that's a good. Man, it's going to be interesting to see Daniel Bryan with 2 quick losses like that. It'll be interesting to see what they kind of.
I want it to be Miro.
I want Miro to do something.
Come back and just dominate again.
I want him to do something.
Come back and just dominate.
Cody promo. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I should say on the Mox thing. Just it's amazing the difference when you watch his promos versus other people in the company. And we're about to talk about Cody's. Everyone's just silent during Mox's promo, pretty much. Just
they really were waiting for what he had to say.
I just want to hear what this guy has to say. It's very much motivational speaker type.
That was the first thought I had when he first started talking. And I agree. I agree completely.
So but it's very cool to see. And then go ahead.
But it also shows the respect he commands.
Exactly.
And that in a lot of there's not a lot of wrestlers that can do that.
Exactly.
That are new in this generation of wrestling. There's not a lot of people that could command the respect and the silence that he got. And I think it was also a big respect thing as well. So, but
yeah. And then just getting into the Cody promo, very different response from the crowd.
Yeah. What was your opinion of the Cody promo?
Overall really liked it.
Me too.
I was it's kind of weird. I almost got upset that people were booing him, but I wanted to boo him too, because there's nah, boo, I don't like you. But
I love that he fed into it though, right?
Yeah, he finally fed into it, but then at the same time, he's still to a fault almost saying, I'm not gonna turn heel. I don't want to hear our wrestlers say that stuff.
He's forever a tweener is what he just did. He literally said, I will forever be the wrestler that you will always hate, but always be the good guy. He admitted to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just in the I could tell he would be a great politician, because he which is what he wants to go for apparently. But just his positioning, even stage presence, he turned his back to the camera, which I'm turning my back on you guys kind of thing. And he goes, I did everything CM Punk did. And he looks back at you but now y'all don't care about me though. So it's just it's kind of cool.
The line of the night was absolutely, people like to talk about the forbidden door. I'm the one who built it. Like that was a great line. Like I don't know if that line will be properly remembered, like the same way that we remember quote unquote the pipe bomb and a lot of other promos and stuff like that.
But this was his.
This was a really good promo. This really
This was Cody's pipe bomb because he said a lot. Like and in this promo, if you notice how the crowd went from booing him to cheering him at the end.
Yeah.
Right, and
which I hate. It bothers me. I'm just like, oh,
but that shows how good Cody is.
Yeah,
like when Cody can go turn, he buried the NXT by saying by saying that the Young Bucks are going to go against or trying to go against Red Dragon. They already
they graduated elbow drop school,
and then he buried. He buried the Gunther.
And I thought that was a timely reference, though. Like that hit different, in my opinion. That hit different than a lot of the other disses that WWE will throw or that AEW will throw out at WWE occasionally. This was timely and it was meaningful. It was literally saying and it went to the point of what he was going into about Brody and saying like, we don't do that here because if you choose to come here with that name, then you have to own that name. And I thought that like he did it in such a respectful way to why it's a bad idea to do that. I don't know. I like that.
No,
Moise, any thoughts?
Moise,
go ahead.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a really big Jay Lethal fan, so I like the shout out that Jay Lethal got because I know him and Cody are really good friends outside of wrestling. So when he was like, the lethal injection's the one cutter that no one kicks out of, yet Cody does cutters all the time. Randy calls it Cody cutter, Randy who brought him up, RKO. The Diamond Dallas Page was big in the Nightmare School, not you guys know
Nightmare Factory.
Nightmare Factory. Diamond Cutter. Like I love how he was like Jay Lethal's got the one cut, and now I hope AEW is very bad at protecting finishes. I hope the lethal injection is protected whenever we see Jay Lethal.
Did Sammy kick out of it? Did he hit it on Sammy or not? I don't remember.
He didn't get a chance to hit it.
Okay,
he did not.
But
I would.
And I know y'all don't watch this. Just to close the point on that, he did hit on Dark. He did hit the elbow drop against a jobber for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
got kicked out of that. I was just like, whoa, it's kind of a big deal. And then he hit the lethal injection for the win. So,
but I will say this: that one thing that he did say that kind of caught me. He was like, "I lost to Malachi Black." And y'all know I hate losing. And the way and this is one thing. This is one thing I like about Cody, that the way he tells the way you could tell he takes a lot from his time in WWE and a lot of what he learned from his dad. Like the presentation that he did was spot on perfectly. It was a perfect tweener promo. Like it basically he proved his point and then he went straight to the point.
He made fun of everybody too. Like that was the point of it though. Like he just made fun of everybody in the audience. Like I lost and I hate losing.
Yeah. But also
without saying like I lost twice to him before I ever won.
But he also kind of low-key gave CM Punk his flowers, but then at the same time he was like, while you were away, I was over here doing all the shit that you said you were gonna do. So I think that kind of got me interested in what's next for Cody.
Is this Cody Cena promo where he's good for the rest of his career?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This because when he did the fake retirement before he got beat up by Malachi, there was cheers in the crowd. When he did when he first lost or when he won the TNT title the second time, and then we found out about Brody's passing, he got cheered there. Like he will always be a super revered character in AEW lore until his time there is over. He will be hated and loved by the same people in the same crowd.
Yeah, I did, to end on a interesting note, I did notice the signs. I don't know if y'all saw that in my little recap that I was going to do. Did y'all read any of the signs for him?
No. I saw the one that I saw that stood out was just the one that was right behind him, and I don't remember what it said now. I'd need to reread it.
The 49% face, 51% heel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good signs. I thought they were enjoyable because it very different. Like everyone else with Moxley, again, kind of talking about that, just down to earth, very active with Cody. And like Elias said, I think that just shows, Cody can get a reaction no matter which way it is. So
Yeah,
pretty cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are basically walking off of AEW, and we're getting into our main subject today. Our main thing today is we're doing top 5 Rumble matches in history. Basically, what we're going to do is each of us has a top 5. In order to get this through, it's going to be quick and simple. It's going to be the year, the winner, and why this match is on your top 5.
And then we're going to discuss each one in depth.
No, we're not.
No, we're
Boys, calm down. I know you're going to purposely try to sabotage this. I know you are. And if you do, I'm going to find where you live, and I'm going to stone cold stun your ass.
You have my address.
Exactly. It won't be hard to find where you live.
You know what I'm going to do?
Oh no, bring Moise back.
Nope. Get rid of him right now.
No.
I agree with this. I like this decision. I like it.
I'll give Moise
All right.
a little bit of my time.
All
How
right,
about that?
so we're gonna
I'll
go
make mine
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, working
And-
backwards. Okay.
Okay,
Work it
backwards.
So we're gonna start off with Angel's number 5 moment. Take it away.
I had to lower this one just because of who is involved in it. 92, Ric Flair. Almost an hour long win that he had. I think that was pretty good.
An hour technically. I think he is clocked at 1 hour.
Is it?
Yeah, I think they rearranged the order of them so that he is now the one that is in the top chain when it comes to time in the single match. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
No,
so,
but Rey Mysterio had an hour and 1, right? Or no?
59. Oh no, maybe his is an
No,
hour and 1 minute.
Mysterio was an
Mysterio, I
hour
think, is ahead of him.
Hour and 1 or hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, I might be wrong. Okay.
But yeah,
Gotcha.
I think that's a very significant moment in Rumble history, and
Agreed.
I didn't want it too high just because of Flair, but I also don't think that should kick him from contention. So
Yeah.
that's my number 5.
All right, Moise, you're number 5.
It's the same one.
Oh. See, this top 5 list is going to be real easy to make, guys.
Real easy.
No, it's the same one. And then after this, he had the tear in my eye promo. So one of my favorite promos of all time.
Tear in my eye. Oh man.
Yeah, so that's my number 5.
Okay, cool.
Matt.
My number 5 is actually 2018 Shinsuke Nakamura winning it. This was one of those years that I really got heavy into WWE productions, and watching the Rumble was like super exciting. I really enjoyed watching NXT with Shinsuke and Sami Zayn. I was like super super into it at the time and stuff. Loved the matches, loved Shinsuke, went back, watched his New Japan stuff, watched his AJ matches, even watched his Brock Lesnar match before he was like the King of Strong Style, obviously. But still, I just really like Shinsuke a lot. And then to see him as a new guy through the company who they were pushing in this like really cool trajectory in this way, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm so happy he won. The match itself was really cool. This had one of the fun, this was one of the more action oriented Royal Rumbles in 2018. Like it was even though like it was still as long. I think it was still right under an hour. It was still like 55 minutes or something like that. But like it was still like very heavy in action, lots of cool spots. But yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura winning in 2018. That is my number 5.
My number 5 is 2019. Seth and Becky both winning the Royal Rumble. Reason why is because I like how the storylines took off towards WrestleMania. I think that build up to WrestleMania for Seth Rollins was perfect because he was in a program with Brock Lesnar, and then Becky's moment that it built towards it when it just the whole from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. I think it started off perfectly for them on that one. And that's my number 5. All right, number 4 moment. Angel, take it away.
So this is interesting to me that we've gotten, you two both kind of get a little bit more modern ones. This is my only modern one. It's actually last year's or year before last. When
2020.
Drew McIntyre won. Great. It was the first time in a long time I feel like there was a great through storyline throughout the entire Rumble. There was stuff to be active and happy about. Obviously starting off with the Brock Lesnar thing, getting to see Keith Lee and Brock. It's the only time we got to see that, which is pretty cool. But Drew eliminating Brock and going on to win it is very big putting over. And It's hard for them to create stars, and that definitely, I think, put Drew into the
Oh my!
stratosphere.
If not for the pandemic, like do we
absolutely
right? Like we blame like his short run overall to the pandemic and stuff, which annoys me that he didn't get that win in front of the crowd at WrestleMania. That annoys me.
And I felt that 2020 was the year of Drew McIntyre. I felt that he carried the company through the pandemic as well. So I think he did a real good job.
And I didn't want to put it too high. I was there, so it was that part might have helped.
God, that was a really good Rumble though.
Edge return,
such a good response too, right? Like I remember that Rumble, and maybe it's just like hindsight, like thinking back to the crowd because then we didn't see crowds for such a long time. But like I remember that crowd looking so.
That was the last big event.
That was the last big event
that happened before the pandemic. So
it was January, and then
February, everything went down. All right.
So
anyways,
number four, Moise, take it away.
I am gonna go with the '95 Rumble, and just because I think it's one of the best finishes that we've seen in a Rumble. It's Shawn Michaels and Bulldog, where Shawn barely hangs on and ended up winning.
Yeah,
I have a question, just real quick. I know we're in the middle of it, but are we writing these down? Because we're supposed to make a top 5 after this, right?
Yeah, we all have our written down in front of us. Then we'll do the round table afterwards.
Okay, cool. 95. That's okay. I can see why you have it here.
95. So it is not mine. My number 4 is the Ric Flair's 92. I went. See, this is not going to be a hard list to put together, guys. I promise you.
Not. It's really.
There's only so many good Royal Rumbles, and we're only doing top 5. Okay, there's only so many of them. Anyway, Ric Flair winning, I thought was really cool because it was one of the first Forbidden Doors, and he came in with such an attitude at the time. Like 92 is obviously a time before me watching wrestling in a hardcore or meaningful manner, but then me rewatching 92 and all those earlier stuff and like engrossing myself in the history and the lore and the storylines and everything. Such a cool storyline, such a cool environment at the time. And I just want to say it was between 92 for Flair and 95 for Shawn in this spot for me. And 95 Shawn is actually it's only an honorable mention for me at this point because I just barely couldn't get him on that list because my top 5 was hard to make, as everyone was, I'm sure, but I think we're very similar. Everyone's very similar so far, so it's interesting to see. Wait till you see what my number 1 is. Let me put it that way. Anyways, go ahead, Elias. What's your number 4?
Mine is actually out the park a little bit. 2016.
That is
Triple H winning. Reason why, because AJ Styles defeated. That was one of the biggest moments in Royal Rumble history that is still remembered, but also the whole storyline.
Hold on, I'm not done shoveling yet. Hold on. Almost done. Okay, you can continue. I'm done shoveling.
But yeah, the debut, AJ Styles debut, and then just the ending of it, which was kind of ironic in a sense to what to the whole thing with the match of the championship and stuff like that. So
2016 totally like I refuse to remember almost because of Triple H winning that match. That I didn't like that at all. That was one of those years where I was like, this is why I don't enjoy watching WWE anymore. Like they definitely are not booking towards me because I don't want to see Triple H.
Mine was mostly because of AJ Styles.
I got you.
I think that was one of the most memorable debuts.
Anyways, it was a great debut. It really was a great debut, though. Like,
yeah,
I really work hard to not know any spoilers leading up to our Rumble. I work really, really hard on that. And like, I did not know AJ Styles was coming into that match. That was awesome. I loved it. I didn't know. Yeah, I loved it. All
right, number 3. Like Johnny Canales, take it away, Angel.
John Woods. All right, so this one's it's a little weird for me. I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to do this one just because of I don't know that. Are we specifying that this is all men's? Does that give you it away?
No, they could be a women's.
We haven't, and you know what? I only looked at the men's for me personally. I really did. I feel I
did the women's as my number 5. So
I think me and Angel have the same one year too. Is it because it's very taboo?
Yeah. What? No.
Okay.
No. Do you have the Santino Marella win?
No.
said whatever it is.
Okay,
Okay,
no, that was the
okay,
battle
no.
row. We're not counting those.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Okay.
3. Bianca Belair winning.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
good
that was
one.
awesome. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
It was I feel like now that I'm going through the list and hearing you guys, I feel like I put it too high. I feel like this should be 5, and then I should move the other ones up.
I don't know.
No,
that's
but that's
God, that's
it
a
was
really
legit.
good one.
It was a good Rumble.
Yeah.
And the ending, I mean, I personally thought they were going to give it to just Rhea and Bianca winning and coming through in the end. Same thing. It built a new star and someone who we're still excited about today. So it was a big win for me. I put that one.
That's a good
so
one.
3.
I think 3 is a very good spot for that. No joke. I do. I like that.
Okay. Number 3 for
I'm
me.
interested in Moise now. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
right.
Oh, it's gonna come later.
TNT Battle Royale WCW.
No. My number 3 is gonna be 2005 when Batista won. Because Vince ran out and tore his ACLs.
His quads. It was his quads.
Quads. Sorry. And then Daniel Puder getting beat up by Hardcore Holly, Chris Benoit, and Eddie Guerrero was fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
I still remember the Inside the Ropes segment that Edge did telling the story about that.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. Like, what do you got to say?
Did you want Batista to win that match, or did you want John Cena to win that match? Were you upset with what they did?
This one I was liking Batista because I saw the whole Evolution breakup coming and everything, right?
Yeah,
I was never a Batista fan. Never.
I wasn't either, but now I look back at it and I'm like, you made such a star out of this guy, and that's what elevated it for me. Like this guy, he's probably like a top 5 most noticeable wrestler now, right? Like,
I'll be honest, I was definitely way too harsh on Batista. Like I am just an a-hole when it comes to Batista. I was way too harsh on him because like I watch his matches now and I'm like, he was not bad at all. Like I'm over here loving Wardlow and I hated Batista. Like I was way too mean on Batista at the time. I was way too mean.
Really quick before going to Elias, one thing I will say about the Batista hate, and like I would rewatching some Batista with my dad. It's because they had him in those programs with Big Show, Great Khali, and Kane. Where
those
the
ones,
big man on big man. Like if you look at a program with Eddie or Ray, even Eminem when he was teaming up with Rey Mysterio, he had some good stuff.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, so we're on number 3, right?
Yep.
So my number 3, now I'm wondering if I put this one too low, and I should have moved this one up. And I almost, anyways. I put 1999 Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold won the 98-99 Royal Rumble. This was a memorable one because it was just one of those. It was a in the middle era type Royal Rumble, and you see that throughout the entirety and of the contestants that are in it and stuff, because it's not quite new generation hardcore with like when 2000 comes around the next corner and it's just the hardcore Rumble that everyone kind of thinks about with that 20-minute weapons segment and stuff. But like this is still like at the edge of the Attitude Era and stuff. Like it's not the Attitude Era anymore technically, because Attitude Era kind of ended earlier or at the beginning of 99 into 2000. Like this is the end of the Attitude Era in my opinion.
I feel that way.
Yeah, I know a lot of people put the end of the Attitude Era at 2002 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a couple more years later. Yeah,
I don't agree with that, because that's when we start seeing the Ruthless Aggression Era in 2001, isn't it? With John Cena and everything. Like we're leaving the I'll give it to you, it's still in the Attitude Era, obviously, but like it's leaving, and you see that difference in the style of the Rumble itself. I don't know. There's just something special about this Rumble win for Stone Cold. Headline, and then he obviously leaves and headlines WrestleMania with The Rock, and like the fulfillment of this WrestleMania. There's just a lot to it. I really liked 99 Stone Cold. This was another one that I had a lot of mixed feelings about the order of, but I went with 99 Stone Cold Steve Austin Royal Rumble.
See, my list is a little different because I started from 2005 on up. But all right, my number 3 moment is the 2008 Royal Rumble.
You didn't look at any of the 90s?
You didn't go past 2005?
What the heck?
I was telling Matt because I
can't wait for your number 1 then.
Right? He's like,
It's
this
pretty
year.
predictable.
This year's Royal
Pretty
Rumble.
predictable. Anyways,
year.
2008. 2008.
Next week.
Cena won that match, but that match, watching the stories that have come out of that match, like the Jimmy Snuka, Piper little moment that they had, Cody Rhodes telling us about the Undertaker, his moment with the Undertaker.
That's a
Like
cool
I
moment.
said, stuff like that, and then John Cena returning and winning. That I think that was one of the biggest pops that has happened in the Garden to this day.
It's one of the most used
True.
videos that
too.
WWE likes to show.
That too.
Look, we're popular. Look at John
Look
Cena.
at this.
Look at
John
John Cena.
Cena.
John Cena was cheered. Look at that.
They've never not cheered him. Look.
Exactly. He will
But no,
forever-
but the story meaning to behind this is my reason for picking it as my number 3. But yeah, that's pretty. I think what made me love it more was when I saw the video of Cody telling the story on him and the Undertaker's little moment that he had in there.
Okay.
That's all right. Number 2.
That's interesting.
I
Because
can't believe you didn't go under 2005.
well, yeah, because I've got nothing else past anywhere close to that 05 or anything. My next two are older. 2000 is funny. Matt just mentioned he mentioned 99. I think 2000 is my number 2 moment.
It's fun. It's
Rumble.
fun.
It's just a fun Rumble.
I agree. I agree.
The Rock winning, great Rumble, and obviously it's kind of also remembered because of what happened and the controversy around the ending of it. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty good Rumble. 2000.
2000.
I went with 2020 because I was there live, so I was very biased.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was the Brawl, it was the Keith Lee entrance. Edge. It was just a lot of fun. MVP coming back. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Me and my White Claw that I had in hand, just enjoying the pay-per-view.
I gotta check something right now. That's still to this day, I still get so many views on Drew McIntyre winning that and Keith Lee's entrance. So, yeah, they were great.
Well, you check that. My number 2 is back in the 90s, 1994. Bret Hart, Lex Luger, dual winners.
That's a throwback.
It is a throwback, and this I believe is one of my first wrestling memories in terms of like watching it and like caring. I loved Bret Hart and stuff. So like I can remember, I don't think I watched it in 94 because I was still pretty young at the time. A lot of my wrestling knowledge comes from like 96, 97, little bit later. And then like going back and watching it, my brother has always been this gigantic wrestling fan, always been super in the world of professional wrestling, like for forever, ever. And I can remember watching it, this Royal Rumble, and I remember I love Bret Hart, and like Bret Hart won this match, and even though he has to share it with the narcissist with Lex Luger and stuff like that, but this led to WrestleMania 10 and all the greatness that was WrestleMania 10 and stuff like. So I don't know, this is a and honestly I think this among all the 90s Rumbles, I think 92 is a great Rumble in terms of like the atmosphere and everything that it happens inside of the ring and the length that it goes and stuff. But like 94, I think still has the ability to not feel as aged as some of the other Royal Rumbles that are older. Even the British Bulldog and Shawn Michaels one is a great ending, but like the match itself sucks. Like it's not a good, that is a bad 48-minute Rumble because it's so short and half the people you don't even know because it's just not that great. But
It's one of those what you said, Matt. Like it's one of the most replayed moments. I'm a big
but
Shawn
the match
guy,
itself.
So I'm a big Shawn guy, so I'm gonna say HBK or I'm
Yeah.
gonna say Bret Hart's overrated. And yeah.
All right. Well, now I just have to quit the show and not come back ever. No, I'm kidding.
I
Yeah,
said that
94.
'cause I'm an HBK guy.
94. Bret Hart, Lex Luger. That is my opinion. On to you, Elias. What's your number 2?
Mine was actually like boys, the 2021. I like it because of one, it was in Houston. 2, the moments that happened, Edge returning, the Drew Brock stuff, Keith Lee, even the women's match was pretty entertaining as well. So I enjoyed that Royal Rumble. And more being a Houston native, it had a better meaning for me. And specifically seeing Edge come back after so many years. I think that was one of my favorite moments, and I think it tops a lot of the stuff that I've said.
That's it, Matt. You didn't have that Rumble on your list. I feel like we've all got a top 3. Is there thoughts behind why you didn't?
We still have one more to go.
I see what you did there. Ooh.
If it is Matt's number 1, we're gonna have a problem because
I don't think we will. I think that's gonna help our list.
See.
That's gonna help. Anyways,
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. That's
okay. What's your number 1, Angel?
2001.
2001. I say that like I remember it. I don't.
You don't remember? There were so many great moments. That's what we're talking about with WWE. Moments. The moments, guys. Kane, 11 eliminations. Stone Cold getting attacked before the Rumble actually happens by Triple H, going through, winning the dang thing. Drew Carey made a cameo. You gotta have Drew Carey, right? The Rock, obviously. This was just the epitome of Attitude Era. Just so many random things that happened, but there's also some great things that's the only thing we remember because history is only that stuff.
Yeah.
Attitude Era. Just as I hear myself. Yeah. So I think this is the last big Rumble where I thought more than like going back and looking at it, right? More than 4 or 5 people could win. And there was also some cool, fun stuff in it. So
I think that was the last Royal Rumble of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
That was the last full Rumble of full Attitude Era before we went into the Ruthless Aggression one.
And I was actually old enough at this point to remember watching it. I was 10 at this point, so I actually remember
Rumble.
seeing it.
Who won 2002? It's Triple H. I was curious. Okay, continue. Sorry, I was thinking of something else.
Yeah. So my number 1 is Stone Cold winning in 2001.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Very nice.
All right.
Mr. Moise.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. 2004. Chris Benoit winning.
I mean, you're allowed to say it.
You're allowed to say it.
You said it.
This was also the Rumble where Test was found unconscious backstage. This was also, but I love the Rhino Tajiri Chris Benoit moment, old school ECW in the beginning. My favorite thing about this Rumble was the end of WrestleMania, like the way it built to it. The Eddie and Chris Benoit moment that will forever be etched in history, even though WWE wants us to remove it. It's going to be something that all wrestling fans that saw it are going to remember forever.
Yeah.
And Chris Benoit winning from number 1.
Yeah, we'll never hear that again. We'll only ever hear there's been 2 winners from number 1. That's all we'll ever hear ever. As like I don't know, like that's a talk for another day. Let's not talk about it no more. Or 3. There's been 3 that have won from number 1. Sorry.
It's a good shout though for number 1. It's just the history behind it. I think hurts a little bit.
Yeah. It does. It will always for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to make a quick note because I actually made a mistake on my number 3, which I said was 99 Stone Cold, and I don't know why I wrote it down like that, but 99 was actually Mr. McMahon. So 99
he gave up his shot. Yeah.
He gave up the WrestleMania shot, but Mr. McMahon won that match, and I think when I was writing it down, I actually meant to put 2001.
Okay.
Because that was I meant to put Stone Cold's last win on it. So I think I meant 2001 is what I meant for my number 3.
Okay. All right. What's your number 1? Because Elias, or there we go. He's back.
Yeah.
Elias,
my number 1. My number 1 is 2020. My number 1 is 2020 with Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I love that Royal Rumble match. Not just because of the crazy atmosphere. I love Drew McIntyre. I want him back in the main event. I want him to main event WrestleMania. I want him to be the face of the company. I think Drew McIntyre should be what WWE is today. Okay, I'll quiet down now. I will.
All right.
I want to talk about this because I said we were going to have a problem. This was Matt's favorite. Did you pop for the Edge return, Matt?
I mean, not really, because I'm not like the biggest Edge guy. But
Hold on.
I recognize the importance of it.
No,
We'll talk about this in a minute.
We'll talk about it
We'll
afterwards.
talk about it in a
Elias,
minute.
number 1.
Yeah.
2006 Royal Rumble, Rey Mysterio winning. I think that was one of my favorite moments. And
You sure you don't want to use this year's as your number 1?
No,
You're
Okay.
positive.
positive, extra
There's some-
positive.
there could be
It's only
something
2 weeks
happening.
away. It's only 2 weeks.
Dominic's in it.
Dominic could be your number 1.
I don't care. I don't care. 2006 was because he started at number 2, and just that whole moment was pretty cool to me. And I'm a big
Tribute
Rey
with Eddie.
Mysterio
Yeah.
fan, so.
Should be.
Anyways, that's the top 5 from each one. So let's start the round.
I
table,
like
ladies
the
and gentlemen.
idea of putting Bianca Belair's win as number 5.
I like that idea too.
I like that idea.
What year was that, Angel?
2020.
Was it 2020 as well? Yeah, it was. It was.
2021.
Right.
2021.
Oh, 2020.
Is it 2020?
Is-
Because 2020 was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, 2020 was Drew McIntyre and Bianca. No,
2021.
you're right. It was
Oh, you're right.
2021.
2021.
Yeah. Why am I arguing with the WWE guy? Why am I arguing with him? I should not be doing that. Ric Flair in number 4, 1994. Ric Flair. How do we feel about that? Elias did not have that one on his list at all.
He doesn't have it. Yeah.
What are you? Why, Elias? How can you not have anything from the 90s?
Why did you stop at 05?
Because
You-
I
That was a
had
choice?
I
That
had
was
a
a choice you made.
No,
it was a choice I made because I had a rough time coming up with my list, and I wanted
You wanted to be
I-
very accurate.
very accurate to the last 20 years.
Because I definitely
but,
feel like I overlooked some stuff.
um,
Well, yeah, agreed. We definitely did. I mean, I went to my top 10 that I based my list on was like the ones that I for sure remembered, right?
Okay, let me stop
So-
here.
Say
I was
Go
the
ahead,
only
Mox.
one that had it on my list, but I think we all think the 04 is a top 7.
Oh,
so we're gonna make it an honorable mention.
The Chris Benoit one.
I think given this
I don't think I can put it in
landscape,
top 5.
I
I
can't
put it on top
anymore. I
5.
really can't. Like I can't disagree with somebody who decides to do it like you. But I can honestly say that I don't feel comfortable putting it into our wrestling heats top
I can
5.
respect.
Honestly,
I can respect that. I can respect
Yeah.
that.
okay.
I present this option to you guys, to the round table. If we're gonna put an Iron Man type in the top 5, we should have one of those. I
Ric
do
Flair.
really like the Rey Mysterio one, probably
Okay.
more than Flair's.
Okay.
Because of the moment, guys.
No matter how sarcastic you say it, it doesn't make it any less true.
I think we all knew he was going to win, though, right? That was the only thing I had.
We
on
did
this
only
one.
because looking back at it, especially the way it's sold today, is they made it look like we had no idea. But if you remember, it was all
Eddie's
about
obvious.
Eddie's death.
It was
Yeah.
very obvious. at
Yeah,
the
it was
time.
super obvious how they did it, and it's kind of sad to remember it like that because it was kind of like here you go, like that
But
kind
you
of
know
moment.
what they would do? You know what they would do now, though?
They would
The
make him
the heat. Someone would eliminate him and get the heat.
at the last second. Second.
Yeah. So
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
So are we good? So do we want Rey Mysterio number
I don't-
4?
I think that's the argument we should have is do we put Flair or
Flair
Mysterio's
or Mysterio?
Iron Man?
I would be fine with putting Mysterio over.
I feel that the 92 moment is big, but it's not as big as the Rey Mysterio moment.
Mhm.
I completely agree. They're very different, but I agree. So 2006, Rey Mysterio in number 4. Okay,
I would say
yeah.
number
say
3.
I would say number 3 is a big toss up because everybody had this one at different moments of their ranking. The 2021,
Drew.
Drew winning
I
2020.
think
feel like
2020 should be number 2.
I'm almost uncomfortable putting it number 2. Yeah. I think
Okay, so
as a modern
modern.
and it still feels like I can compare it to the older ones and still say no, yeah, it does deserve to be higher. So I think that alone should
I think
boost
if
it up a little bit.
I think if Keith Lee was still higher, it would be number 1.
I don't think so at all.
Because
If
of
this year-
the
if this
moment.
year at Mania we were getting Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar, Matt, you don't think it would be number 1?
No, I don't. I'm not.
All right, so
dignifying
what
that.
should we do? What should we do? Has number 3.
Number 3, I feel like it needs to be either The Rock winning something or Stone Cold or I mean, maybe even Shawn Michaels. Like I know that we didn't talk about it until for early like 95 with Shawn Michaels winning like he did. Like I prefer the Brett Lex, so I would personally make a case for Brett and Lex Luger in the number 3 spot. That's what I would fight for personally. Does anyone have a problem with
I would fight for Shawn Michaels, but then you said the thing. The whole Rumble sucked until the end.
It does though, right? Technically, like, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, Angel? Since Elias doesn't remember before 2005.
Wait, what about the Drew Carey one that Angel had brought up?
01?
2000 or 2001?
01?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt has that 3. I have that 1. Elias doesn't think it happened. He's like WWE.
This is great. I'm sorry, Elias. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna see.
Moise, I am curious why you didn't have it on your list. You didn't have it on your.
He didn't.
So
number 3 feels right.
I think 01 should be number 3.
I think though, if we think about it, I guess that's true because then we're leaving only one spot open, and we're not putting Brett and Lex number 1. But I would put. I don't know if I could put 2001 as number 1 either, though. What are we putting as number 1?
I just
think
thought about
2020
that.
should get moved to number 1.
I think 2020 should be number 1.
Wow, it was great.
It really was.
Really
the audience was so good. The moment was great. I don't care what you say. And honestly, seeing Drew McIntyre Claymore kick Brock Lesnar out of the ring to win the Rumble.
You know what people forget about that?
Yeah. They forget about that moment.
They forget about who was right there with him.
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Yeah,
With the
Ricochet,
low blow.
Low blow in Brock Lesnar.
Everybody was pissed off that he got a low blow the week before on Raw, and this was all for short storytelling. That was all. That was all it was for.
Man, wow. Can
So-
we really?
So what?
God,
is
we're
number
gonna
two?
be called modern for doing that. So number 3 was
Guys, we have 2020 as our
01.
number 1 right now. 06 is our number 4, and 2021 is our number 5. We are modern. Like I still think
we did
that
kick
we
out
should put,
Flair for Rey Mysterio.
We did. We literally did that. We literally kicked out old for new. I think though we put Bret Hart and Lex Luger win in 1994 as number 3.
I can't speak to it because I didn't research that one too high.
I think 2001 would have been on my list. I think I just skimmed over it.
I would be fine with putting 2001 in our. Here's the thing: is we're gonna
1, 2, 2 or
2001,
2,
2001 in 2. But are we really making a list where we are?
There's
we
nothing.
are.
There's nothing after
94, 1994 as our 3rd place. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm proposing, and 2001 in our 2nd place. So it goes 2020.
But dude, some of the Rumbles were very repug, like the Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like some of those Rumbles.
Obviously.
Repug.
Nobody's asking us to make Jim Duggan or Big John Studd or Hulk Hogan wins in meaningful. We all agree those were parts of the nature of the beast.
I was gonna say, Elias didn't. He's not fighting for it, but I'll help him. I'll nudge him a little bit here. That John Cena Rumble,
2008
is a big deal. I think putting that 3. Can we maybe put that 4?
Wait. I have an idea.
3?
I have an idea. What if we put 2008 and 1994 together in 3rd place?
A tie?
And tie them, just like the 1994 Royal Rumble.
It's
our list. It's our list. We can do whatever we want.
I do think because I do think that was a pretty good Rumble.
It was a good Rumble.
I will put both of them. 2008,
we'll give it a tie.
1994.
It's settled. We have a tie.
I like it. And 2001 was The Rock, right? Yeah.
You know what? That's gonna look like to people. If we just showed like the list, I can already like.
When I edit this video,
I hate saying this out loud. You
can
edit this part out. Okay?
No, I'm gonna have it in. But go ahead.
Oh no! It's like we gave the men a tie so we could put the women's one at number 5.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Is there a better women's one than any of the men's one that we have? They have less of a longer history.
Matt,
2001.
Move Bianca Belair to 4.
To number 4.
Moving to 5.
I like that.
Agree.
I like that.
Actually,
Agreed.
2001, Stone Cold Steve Austin won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So
So-
I have. So this is for the final video that's going to be edited after the fact. Our number 5 top Royal Rumble is 2006 Rey Mysterio. Number 4, 2021 Bianca Belair. In the number 3 space, we have 2008 John Cena tied with 1994 Bret Hart and Lex Luger. Number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin 2001. And in the number 1 position for our top 5 Royal Rumbles of all time, 2020 Drew McIntyre. And that is the top 5 weekly wrestling heat Royal Rumbles of all time.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitive, no arguing. That's
No
it.
arguing. It's our list, so we get to do whatever we want with it. And we just made 2 Royal Rumbles tie, just like 2 competitors tied in 1994.
And should have tied in 95.
And The Rock and Big Show.
Batista and
They didn't
Cena.
tie though. They made a winner out of those 2. This is the only Royal Rumble that there was an actual tie.
They
Yeah,
literally made them fight over who was the winner.
Yeah, they
but
made them
this-
fight who was the winner,
This
but
was
not
the actual.
no,
It was
Lex
a tie.
Luger. No. They went into the next night with them both being co-Royal Rumble winners.
No, I'm talking about the Rock Big Show one.
Yes,
They literally they're like, you know what?
And you know
We'll
the
make
story
y'all
about
fight
that.
for it.
You know the story about that too, right? Rock's feet hit first.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
second-
No. Yes, yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
I said The Rock won, but that's only because they rewrote history because of
For the moment. For the moment.
I still remember the segment The Rock did with the Big Show when he went to Miami. He was like, you know, you were supposed to have won that one. He was like, you know, that Royal Rumble was where the guy from the director from the Scorpion King came and got it. It could have been you being the Scorpion King. It could have been you chasing Vin Diesel's candy ass down.
That's great. Anyway,
Hey, you guys want to know something? So we talked about
Yeah.
how eerie the Chris Benoit Rumble was. That's also
about
the
it?
Rumble where Hardcore Holly broke his neck.
I don't
Rumble's
know.
Just cursed.
Yeah, that Rumble's just cursed. I have very little to say about that Royal Rumble. Very little.
All righty, Elias, you would take us on out of here. Let's.
Woo! Well, today's
Fun episode, man.
was Fun episode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back next week with another episode of Weekly Wrestling Heat on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard
Rumble
Time.
predictions.
Rumble predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Next week is Royal Rumble week. Kicks off WrestleMania season. We will see what happens. We'll predict Royal Rumble. We'll have a couple of special things going on to predict the Royal Rumble, make it fun for everybody.
Yeah,
as
Angel,
always,
private
please-
comments. Go read them. That's how we're doing Rumble.
He's going to put it in the show notes. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about the private comments that are going to leave the moment we close a window.
Yes.
I'll put them in the show notes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to follow us on our Facebook and Instagram, Weekly Wrestling Heat. Follow us on our YouTube page at Weekly Wrestling Heat. Follow us on our Twitch page, Weekly Wrestling Heat TV. As always, remember that we are still doing the 100 subscribers giveaway. So at 100 subscribers on YouTube, we will do a nice giveaway to a T-shirt courtesy of Moise on his favorite NXT superstar Tiffany Stratton.
We will
Or
do
whatever's
we will do
Any
any
t-shirt.
any wrestling T-shirt you want.
let's
We will
not
do a
limit
giveaway.
it.
We will not limit it any longer. Okay.
Boys can't create 100 fake accounts to get his T-shirt. All right.
Right, that's all it's gonna be. He can spend it on
probably
himself,
already
or he
bought
can win
it.
it himself.
But yeah,
Just waiting for them
make
to
sure
make it.
to join us next week. Also, we will be coming with a official Facebook group. Weekly Wrestling Heat will be able to interact with everybody. So be on the lookout for that. It will be released sometime within the next week. As always, that's pretty much it. We'll catch up with y'all next week. Good night, stay safe, and peace.
Bye bye.
The moment.